What are you guys doing out here? Come on inside. That's right, today we're doing an apartment tour. Exciting, yay! So here I am at the front of my apartment. You can see the door here, and let's go inside. So we are now inside my apartment here in Japan, and I'm gonna show you guys around, but real first, we have to take off my shoes because we're not dirtying my apartment. So here I have my sneakers on, just came from outside, and we're just gonna take them off and switch into my slippers because I do not want to dirty my apartment. And I will tell you guys why this is very important. So this area of the apartment is called the Genkan, and it is actually very common to find in Japanese schools, houses, all sorts of things. You want to keep your dirty outdoor shoes separate from your clean indoor shoes. So it's very common to find these really in any house or sort of public building. And yeah, this is my Genkan. I also have a closet here, which honestly, I'm not too sure what is in here. I think most of my predecessors' items are in here. I don't really touch any of these, so let's just ignore that. And then you can see here down at the bottom, there's like this blue bin. It's literally just magazines and newspapers. You can see to the left here is my mail slot, so I'll just check that every morning and throw out any sort of trash and keep the important stuff. And also I have two little hooks to keep my umbrella and my keys, two very important things I never leave the house without. But yeah, this here is my Genkan area. Immediately after the Genkan, I have this sort of like in-between spot for just my coats, any bags that I have. I keep a lot of totes here because I go out and shop a lot. I also have some grocery bags here that I go grocery shopping with. I have my crossbody and a backpack, which I'll be taking to schools to carry all my items, and then some hats and a raincoat here in the sort of like in between Genkan and apartment area. Okay, so let's actually get into my apartment, and I'm going to show you everything room by room. So immediately after walking to the apartment, I have my kitchen here, and you can see it is not that spacious. Back home I had a bigger kitchen which I love cooking in, but this is what I have to work with. Okay, so let me show you around a little bit of my kitchen. So on this side of the kitchen we have my microwave. You know, pretty good space, and it was a little bit confusing at first when I moved in because there's like a bunch of different settings, but honestly I just use like one or two of them. I have a fridge here which is literally like 4 feet tall. It is so small. I personally eat a lot. I don't know if you can tell.
It's over. Like, I'm fat.
But, you know, I just keep it stocked at all times with, you know, just the essentials, of course. And there's also a freezer at the bottom here, and it's full of frozen meat, nothing too exciting. And then off to the side here, I have my toaster oven, and then it's sort of a shelving unit of different things. So on the first shelf here are different cooking oils and seasonings. Then I have some bins down here that my predecessor left me. There's some saran wrap and aluminum foil, paper towels, a blender that I bought off Amazon, it doesn't work, and some garbage bags. I will not be explaining the garbage sorting situation here in Japan just yet. Check out my TikTok or Instagram or somewhere. I'll probably post a video on it later. Okay, and you can see the rest of the kitchen here. So I have a 2-element stove, some sauces. Here is the fan with different settings up here for, you know, the fan and lights. Down here I have a fish grill, which doesn't actually work. The battery is dead. I'll have to buy a new one. And then down here is just an array of pots and pans my predecessor left me, but I do not want to use them because I don't know when he washed them last.
Gross, nasty, 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 unnecessary, gross, disgusting. I'm horrified.
Here, you know, just a basic, you know, utensils, nothing too exciting in here. More cooking utensils, and then just some snacks. Again, the essentials only. And in here I have, again, a bunch of my predecessor's stuff which I have not really touched. I only use maybe those sponges that I bought, and this is for drying dishes. Speaking of, here is the sink. You can see that I left out some dishes just so you guys can see kind of like what I do with them, but it's a very small space. Like, I don't have a lot of room to cook. Up here I have this little like sort of bar area, which I love. So I keep some sugar and flour. I keep my, seasonings here, some more utensils like chopsticks and straws and scissors, and a lunch bag. And then up here I have my, crockery. So some glasses, plates, containers for any food I make. And if you watched the last video or the video before that of what I was bringing, I packed some spices specifically for Indian cooking. So those are there. Have not used them yet, but looking forward to using them. So this here was the kitchen. Forgot to mention there's also garbage bins that my predecessor left, but they're just bins. Nothing exciting here. So yeah, that was the kitchen. And then just across from the kitchen, we have the sort of bathroom, toilet room, and shower. So something interesting about the apartment I'm living in is that there are 3 separate rooms for whatever needs you have. So the first room here is the one I'm in right now. Hello. This is the sort of washroom. So you can see here there's a sink and a washing machine, and then just a bunch of different shelving units. So you can see here there's a bunch of my predecessor stuff that I just kind of left up there, didn't want to really use. These are my own items. So I have my skincare routine, plus some fragrances and any like detergents that I use here in the washing machine. And then I have the sort of sink. So here's where I'll like wash my face in the morning, brush my teeth. I just have some like shaving stuff up there. And then on this side I have oral hygiene. And down here in the sort of cabinet, again, my predecessor left me a bunch of stuff. These Ziploc bags are what I brought. The rest of the stuff is his. And it was kind of nice to move in and have stuff to use, but also I could have used that space for my own things, but whatever. So yeah, and then up there, I just have, again, some random stuff that I don't use day to day, but nice to have some fresheners, my makeup that I brought, some deodorant, toilet paper. Speaking of toilet paper, here is the toilet room. So again, nothing too fancy. It's, just a room with a toilet. You can see here that it does have the sort of bidet functions that you might be sort of like familiar with seeing online, maybe on TikTok, but I only really use like 2 functions, which is the sort of bidet function and then the stop. I don't really touch the other ones. Not sure what they do. And you might be wondering what this thing back here is. It is for, I guess, washing your hands. Now, the water that comes out of here is not the toilet water. It's like the water that comes out here is clean and you can use it to quickly wash your hands. And then it gets reused in there. So it is clean. And then off to the side here, you can see that there's, let's just say the top one is for number 2, the bottom one is for number 1. And then again, just basic stuff. So we have toilet paper and just Febreze if it gets, a little bit crazy in here, but it's usually fine.
It's gross that it happened, but somehow more gross that he told us.
And then off to the other side is me again, hello, the shower room. So this is, again, a separate room just for showering, but also you might be noticing there's something a little bit different about this room. I have my clothes hanging in here to dry. So on the outside, you can see here, there's like this panel. This is for drying your clothes, and then these ones are like for this winter time, and this is, I believe, for cooling, I want to say, but basically there's no dryer here. Like I only have the washing machine here, so I have to take my clothes out of the washing machine and put them in the shower room, and then put the fan on, which is up there. You can see it, and there's really just a tub in here. Like, that's it. So the first few nights I did use this, but I ended up just showering in this sort of outside section because there is a drain there. So it does the same thing. I have a bunch of my sort of hair care that I brought from home, and then some Japanese body washes, which aren't very strong, but they get the job done, I guess. Again, more of my predecessor stuff. He really left me a whole bunch of things. These are my own. He left me that though. And there's a mirror in case you need to, check for something while you're washing yourself.
Side eye. Side eye.
But yeah, so that is the shower room, the sort of washroom, and the toilet room. Okay guys, so I'm leaving the washroom now. I'm gonna show you the rest of the apartment here behind me. But first, if you could just leave a like, maybe comment too. It just really keeps me motivated to make these videos because I am busy with school and other things, but I really want to share, you know, the culture and experiences here in Japan. So please guys, just leave a like if you can and comment something nice. Thank you.
Stop being desperate.
Okay, so after leaving the washroom, we have the rest of the apartment. Just over here, you can see a sort of panel. This here is for heating up the water. So this is for the shower and the sink. It only has cold water unless you turn it on and set the temperature. So you can see if I turn it on, it's at 4 degrees. I will turn it off because I don't need it. But over here as well, we have a camera outside so I can see if there's someone, you know, outside my apartment, and then I can click on this to speak to the person outside. I rarely use this, but sometimes with Amazon drivers, I just make sure that it is the delivery person, not someone else. I do check. And here is the rest of the apartment. So I will let you guys know that the apartment I have is essentially an LDK, which means there's a living room, a dining room, and a kitchen. We've already went through the kitchen, but here is sort of the living and dining room. So it is quite spacious. You can see here facing the kitchen, I have my flag up. I have a little like cart here, or trolley that has my rice cooker, and then just some cooking essentials, cereal, rice, the sort, and more rice down there. This here is the love of my life. It's a trolley I take for grocery shopping because I don't drive, so I have to walk around. The grocery store is only like 8 minutes away, but this thing I love with my whole heart. Helps me take those grocery bags over there. Instead of carrying them, I just stick them in here. Anyway, this here is some sort of like shelving unit my predecessor left with a lot of his stuff. I only really use like my things here, so I kept some medicine and I think, you know, just little bits and pieces, like there are the boxes. This here is just a pile of paper. It's for garbage sorting. Don't worry, I'll explain it later in like a TikTok or something. And then up here I have my calendar for the schools that I'm going to be teaching at. And here is my desk. It is a little bit messy because I am a mathemist at heart. But yeah, so down there is just the omiyage that I brought with me. I haven't taught at the schools yet, but I'm starting in a few days, so I will be taking those with me. And there's my laptop, some binders for each of the 3 schools I'll be teaching at, and one of them is for City Hall. And yeah, the rest of the stuff is just little cute little decorations, some notes I leave myself. Nothing too fancy here. This desk was left by my predecessor. He is very generous, so I did not have to pay for this. And yeah, moving on, there is a mirror and there is the sort of living room. Yeah, so I would say this is more of the dining room area here, but this section here is more for living. So this sofa here was left by my predecessor's predecessor, so he just left it for me, which was nice. And then I have a table here where I keep just some snacks. This is different omiyage that I get from City Hall and my coworkers, so I kind of just like hoard them in case I'm ever hungry.
You're not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
I have a Japanese textbook that I've been using to study Japanese. I am around N5, like I'm a very beginner, so that is what I'm kind of working on now. And then I have a TV, which my predecessor, you know, sold to me. I did buy this, I did pay for it and the stand. And it is really nice, like it is small, but I mean, I fit on this couch pretty fine. And I can watch TV easily, and I did bring my Apple TV with me, so you know I can watch Netflix and YouTube pretty comfortably. And then just to the right of the living room, I have the bedroom. This is where all the magic happens, essentially where I pass out after going shopping all day or working. So this is the room. It is a little bit smaller, but honestly I only come in here just to sleep. Like I eat elsewhere, I study elsewhere. But yeah, so here is a little bedside table that just has some essentials, and I have a vacuum here that I also bought from my predecessor, and a tripod. Here is the bed again, where I have the little gift I got from my friends back home, and I got Anya from 2nd Street for like 500 yen or something. It was only like $5. So cute, love her. And these posters I got from the Studio Ghibli Art Museum exhibit at Yamaguchi City with some friends. check out my Instagram, you'll probably see some posts about it there. And then off to the right, I have my giant closet, which I love. I've always wanted a closet this big. So at the top, you can see I just have some boxes. I did buy some stuff from Amazon, and I put my predecessor's stuff that I didn't want to use in there. And then down below, we have my clothes. So on the right side, I have some ties and suits for more formal situations, maybe an opening ceremony, closing ceremony for schools. Some pants, and then dress shirts I wear to City Hall, and I will wear to the schools I'll be teaching at. Then the rest is just sort of like casual clothes, nothing fancy. And then in the back, I have my sort of like cool weather clothes, just for when it gets cooler here, if it ever does. It's literally so hot all the time. And then down here, I have just shelving units of random things. So some slippers that I'll be using at my schools, some papers that I got from my first day at City Hall, belts, some intimates, nothing too fancy. In the back, I do have, I believe it's a heater there, and then farther in the back is like a steamer. Again, not really being used right now, but I also have an ironing board there, yeah. So that's kind of nice that my predecessor left me some things. And up there is like my winter blanket. I will not be using that now because I have this nice summer blanket, very thin. It does get hot, so don't want to be using anything too heavy. And yeah, so that is the bedroom area. Here you can see it again. Kind of smaller, but again, I only come in here for just sleeping. Now you can see behind the TV there is like a balcony, but I'm on the first floor, so it doesn't really mean much. But there's outside. The balcony is, you know, a balcony, I guess. I kind of just leave garbage there sometimes because I don't want it stinking up my apartment. And there is outside. It's really nice. You can see to the right there are vending machines, which is so nice. When I'm like really thirsty, I can just like pop over to the vending machine and grab a drink, but I try to keep my fridge stocked up as much as I can. So yeah, I hope you guys liked the apartment tour. It was kind of quick because I don't really have a big apartment. There's not much to show, but hopefully you have some idea of the living space I'm in right now and what it's like to live in my Japanese apartment. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok for maybe more frequent posts. I only post here on YouTube maybe every other Sunday. I'm gonna try and post more content, but I'll be honest, it's a little bit hectic, still adjusting to the life here, and I will be working at the schools starting this week. But anyway, leave a like, guys, if you enjoyed this video. Comment down below what you want to see in the future, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. It means a lot. It will motivate me to post more. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!